If 99.99% of humanity were to die one day and only 0.01% survives, what profession would the specifically selected 0.01% have to ensure the continuation/survival of humanity? A farmer, for the appropriate region. Doesn't matter if you can grow a corn crop in Kansas, if you're in a post-apocalyptic Japan. If you understand horticulture, you would probably be able to grow things anywhere. I just studied enough horticulture to get a landscape design degree, but I still learned about plants from around the world and how they grow. You know, you can take a horticulture but you can't make her think, can I just say Canadians? Hunter-gatherer/survivalist. Hairdressers and telephone sanitizers. And management consultants need some pilots and nuclear engineers to shut down the nuclear plants. Not if you live far enough away from them. Plus, they'll probably fail safely in first world countries. Yup, most all nuclear plants will fail safe and eventually at most melt down into their containment vessels. Even though they don't make up 0.01%, I would say astronauts. They're experts in multiple fields. We need Matt Damons in The Martian out there. Mark Watney was a botanist and an engineer. That's a pretty good combination for post-apocalyptic survival. I mean, the dude was able to survive on a dead planet, which from a certain point of view is the ultimate apocalypse. Civil engineers, I am partial to this too. Clean drinking water, septic, roads, livable structures, general land use planning, garbage, etc. Outside of clean drinking water, all of those things become significantly less important in extremely low-density living like you would have in this scenario. Well, being that probably 50 to 75% of survivors are going to die too. From starvation, infection, pre-existing conditions, wild animals and stupid accidents. All you would be able to do is survive. There would be no reason for jobs, just foragers. Foragers and midwives, obgyn nurses. Farmer. Farmers don't get enough credit in the general world, they're invaluable. Engineers. They know math, physics, how to build, machine, salvage and modify parts, chemistry and biology. Basically the trade bridges a wide range of subjects essential. They tend to like doing things with their hands and generally aren't horrible at it. Although they do get their heads stuck up their asses sometimes. But I'm sure another one will help if they see their buddy sitting there stranded. You're either an engineer or you've never worked with one. You made me laugh out loud, but you're right. We can plan shit, but we're seldom the guys who build the plans in the end. You wouldn't have to worry about it. 0.01% would still leave you over 7 million people, over 1 million in China and 1 million in India alone. There'd be plenty of people left to simply repopulate with an almost certain inevitability. Check your math, with 7 billion on the planet, 0.01% is only 700k. Not a bad population. If they happen to be in the same area. Not a bad population. Last time there was such a low population of humans of Earth was over 12,000 years ago. Now it's estimated that there was about 4 million humans in 10.000 BCE. People who understand the value of herbs and how to help with illnesses and accidents, since there won't be any hospitals or pharmacies. And farmers. Yes, you can hunt animals, but a diet of just meat will soon create health problems. In some areas, fields and orchards will reseed themselves and there are always wild plants and fruits available, if you know how to find them. People in the coldest parts of the earth that typically import a lot of food would have to move probably. Probably not human resources, so I'm fucked. Honestly, it's not clear why we need HR even today. But come Armageddon, you'll at least be a valuable source of calories. To protect the company. That's why HR exists. A bunch of sex addicts will do the trick. I want some sex but we will die of starvation soon. Fuck me. Where's the hoe? If they are specifically chosen, genetics would be far more important than profession. With that few people, society as you know it is gone. Humans are down to a scavenger society from the wreckage of the previous one. Repopulation is the name of the game there. Influencers. Electrician. No need to develop new lights and stuff, just need to be able to fix it. It all still exists, and that is like 95% of the work. There's a slight issue with that. You need a functioning power plant. A nice small dam with generators would work for a while. Fixing those big wheels is more than a 10-man operation though. I don't think we really need electricity to survive anyway though. It's going to be kind of a luxury after an apocalypse. Agriculture and medicine. I second this. I know about adding teachers, but with the reduced population it would be more likely that we would go back to apprenticeships in order to pass on specific skills instead of generalized skills. Yep. Food, education and health. That's a civilization right there. Lawyers and tax consultants, we need them. A lot of wills and estates need to be sorted out, mate. Start by asking yourself, what do humans need to live, and who provides those things? The answer the first is easily remembered by the phrase earth, air, water, fire. 1. Earth, food and building material. 2. Air, clean air to breathe, but also air that is not too hot, or too cold, or too dry, or too damp. We modulate air conditions with housing. 3. Water, to drink, but also to cook, and most importantly, clean. Historically, one of the biggest killers of humans is disease born of unsanitary living conditions. So we need sanitation, even in low-density settlements. 4. Fire, we need heat to cook, boil water, and keep our houses warm. But we also need energy to drive the machines that multiply the efficacy of human labor, allowing us to get over the manual labor hump. So we'd need farmers. But we'd also need mechanical and civil engineers, people who are capable of designing and building irrigation systems for crops. We need chemists who still understand nitrogen fixing for fertilizers. We need mechanics who can build trucks capable of transporting raw materials to farms and food to where it's needed. And we need people who know how to rebuild the industries that are necessary to keep the supply chain moving. Heart. Go Captain Planet. Strippers. The silicon could be useful for making new solar panels. Morticians. They would have to deal W99.99% of dead people. Well, you'll need to restart the generators, but first you need to go through all the houses and turn off appliances that were left on when the power went off. Or, if you're the bad guys, send the weird little fire nerd out into the desert to find a nuke. Either way. 1. Military. 2. Bear Grylls. 3. Gordon Ramsay. 4. Not me. Those Indian guys on YouTube that take scrapyard junk and clapped out hand tools and build crude but functional engines, machine tools, mechanisms, etc. Honestly, probably the military. They would have MREs for years, all the equipment they could ever need, all the transportation needed, and would have the know-how to gather everyone into a central location to start over. The jobs held across the branches would be enough to have the general knowledge on how to keep some of society's gears continuing to work. If you had enough of them that knew how to make those things work and how to keep them supplied. But what would you do when the military stores run out? Hunters and butchers. Blacksmiths and fletchers. Got to add a couple librarians for the mending enchantments. Computer software programmer and sales manager. Hairdressers, people need to look good, you know. Farming.